Module 1 Pre-Job Planning and Risk Assessment Meeting. Objective. The objective of this module is to ensure that all personnel involved in Slickline operations are fully prepared, technically, mentally, and procedurally, before any work begins. This includes conducting a comprehensive job hazard analysis, issuing the permit to work and ensuring every crew member understands the operational sequence, hazards, and control measures. Effective pre-job planning is the foundation of well control and process safety in Slickline operations. It transforms a high-risk activity into a controlled, barrier-managed process. Purpose of the Pre-Job Planning and Risk Assessment Meeting. This meeting establishes the first layer of safety in the Slickline process. It ensures that the entire team, rig crew, Slickline unit operators, supervisors, and third-party specialists share a unified understanding of A. The operational objectives and job sequence. B. The equipment setup and pressure control requirements. C. The specific hazards and their corresponding control barriers. D. The communication flow and decision-making hierarchy. E. The emergency response plan relevant to the operation. No work is permitted to start until this meeting is completed, recorded, and signed off by all participants. Conducting the pre-job meeting. The meeting should take place at the worksite, ideally next to the Slickline unit or rig floor, where personnel can visualize the layout and identify red zones. The Slickline supervisor or company representative chairs the meeting, ensuring clarity, discipline, and engagement from every participant. 1. Review the Slickline job program. The meeting begins by reviewing the approved job program step by step. The supervisor explains A. The objective, e.g., plug retrieval, sleeve shifting, or mechanical shifting operation. B. The expected depth, pressure conditions, and completion type. C. The required tools and sequence of operations. D. Any non-standard procedures or special safety requirements. Job hazard analysis preparation. After discussing the job program, the team must prepare and review a detailed job hazard analysis. This is one of the most critical documents in Slickline safety, as it identifies potential hazards before they can cause harm. Step-by-step job hazard analysis process. Step 1. Define the job steps. Break the operation into small, logical tasks, such as equipment mobilization, rig up, pressure testing, running in hole, pulling out of hole, and rig down. Each step must be analyzed individually. Step 2. Identify hazards. For each step, identify what could go wrong. Examples include wire snap or line failure, tool drop or overtension, overpressure or PCE leak, manual handling strain, falls from height during sheave installation, pinch points or rotating parts around the winch drum. Step 3. Assess the risk using the 5x5 risk matrix. For each hazard, the crew evaluates likelihood and severity. Likelihood describes how often or how easily the hazard could occur. It ranges from rare, unlikely, possible, likely, to almost certain. Severity describes the potential consequence if the event occurs. It ranges from insignificant, minor, moderate, major, to catastrophic. Each factor is rated from 1 to 5. The risk rating is calculated by multiplying likelihood by severity. For example, if a hazard is possible, rated 3, and its consequence is major, rated 4, the result is 12, which represents a high risk. Risk levels are interpreted as follows. A total between 1 and 5 represents a low risk that can be managed with routine controls. A total between 6 and 10 represents a medium risk requiring enhanced supervision and additional precautions. A total between 11 and 15 represents a high risk that requires management review and approval before proceeding. A total between 16 and 25 represents an extreme risk, meaning the job must not proceed until further barriers or engineering controls are introduced. This method helps the team visualize and prioritize hazards clearly instead of relying on general low, medium, or high labels. Step 4. Define control measures. Once the risks are assessed, specific controls are established. These can include certified lifting gear, taglines, and barricades, verification of pressure control equipment integrity, functional testing of valves and gauges, continuous supervision by the Slickline supervisor and company representative, use of correct personal protective equipment such as flame-resistant clothing, gloves, helmets, and safety glasses. Each control measure must have a responsible person assigned to ensure it is implemented correctly before work begins. Step 5. Review and sign off. All personnel review the job hazard analysis, discuss any concerns, and sign the document to confirm that they understand the hazards, controls, and procedures. Step 6. Re-evaluation. If there are any changes in job conditions, such as weather, equipment modification, or operational delay, the job hazard analysis must be reviewed and updated immediately using the same 5x5 risk evaluation method. Permit to work process. The permit to work is a formal authorization confirming that the job hazards have been identified, assessed, and controlled before the operation starts. The process begins when the supervisor submits a permit application describing the job scope, location, and associated risks. The permit issuer reviews the job hazard analysis, verifies that the necessary controls and isolations are in place, and checks that the pressure control equipment has been tested and certified. Once verification is complete, the permit is signed by the authorized person, usually the rig manager or company site representative, and displayed near the Slickline unit or control cabin. Before starting, the supervisor must review the permit to work with the crew during the toolbox talk to ensure everyone understands the job scope, hazards, and validity period of the permit. If the operation continues beyond the permit validity or if any conditions change, the permit to work must be revalidated or reissued. Safety barriers and safety considerations. This stage reinforces all 4 barrier layers. 1. Physical barriers such as barricades, red zone markings, and proper rig-up of the Slickline unit. 2. Procedural barriers including the job hazard analysis, permit to work, and written operating program. 3. Supervisory barriers such as pre-job verification, safety briefings, and cross-checks. 4. Human barriers which depend on crew competence, attentiveness, and clear communication. Additional safety considerations include ensuring all personnel are fit for duty, the worksite is clean and dry, fire extinguishers and first aid kits are accessible, and all PPE is worn correctly. Environmental factors such as high wind, lightning, or extreme temperatures should be reviewed before proceeding. Golden rule: no permit, no work. Every Slickline job begins only after a completed job hazard analysis and an approved permit to work. Summary: the pre-job planning and risk assessment meeting is the first and most important step in the Slickline safety chain. It ensures that all hazards are identified, analyzed, and controlled before any equipment is rigged up. Using the 5x5 risk matrix provides a structured and visual method to measure and communicate risk effectively. Once the job hazard analysis is verified and the permit to work is issued, the team can proceed with full awareness and confidence that all necessary safety barriers are in place.